What is Eternum?
What is up, guys? Brady back with another video. Today, we're going to be going over all of the current PvP systems that New World has to offer come beta on July 20th and the full release on August 31st. Just like the next person, I've been really looking forward to this game ever since I played it during the preview week in August of last year. I really did enjoy the game much more than I thought I would, and I'm even more excited now after keeping up with the updates, the improvements, and the additions that they've made within the last year. I will be streaming the entire beta a few days after this video has launched. The beta is launching on July 20th. I'll be streaming at twitch.tv/BreadyTV. Link will be in the description for anyone who's interested in coming over to hang out. Alright, let's jump into the video. First up, we have Open World PvP. As most other MMOs, this will inevitably be the most popular PvP system in New World, as the only way you can really control participating in it is if your PvP is toggled on or off. Most people, including myself and the people that I will be playing with during beta, will be flagged for PvP the majority of the time in the open world because of the benefits that come along with being toggled. Increased experience rates, rewards, loots, titles, and more. There really is just no reason to not be flagged for open world PvP, unless you want to avoid those sorts of confrontations at all costs. They did recently add a sort of bounty hunter system as well, where the longer a player has been alive, the greater the rewards will be for killing that player in the open world, which I thought was really cool. You will be able to participate in open world PvP as soon as you pick a faction, which happens somewhere more or less around level 10, so people are going to be getting into the open world PvP pretty quickly into beta. Next, we have the 50v50 war mode, or siege mode. Now, this is a super interesting PvP mode, and I was a bit skeptical about it at first. I've always been a bit more into small-scale PvP, like arenas, open world, things like that. But I was actually thoroughly impressed by how fun this game mode was when I played it during the preview week last year. Not only was it enjoyable, but it also had a lot of purpose and motive tied with it. Basically, it'll be two teams of 50 from differing factions, like Syndicate versus Marauders, or Covenant versus Marauders, and these teams are fighting to command and own the territory in which the war will be happening in. The attacking team will have to capture 3 bases and siege the base, while the defending team must defend their keep for a limited amount of time. I think wars last about 30 minutes. There are things like cannons, fire droppers, battle horns, power kegs, traps. It's a very dynamic system of PvP, and no war will feel the same as the last. There are many benefits to your faction owning a territory, so these wars will definitely get competitive. I would go into the benefits of owning a territory, but there are a lot, so I'll just save that for another video. Next, we have Outpost Rush. Outpost Rush was just recently introduced and is the newest PvP system in the game. It's the first of hopefully many battlegrounds in New World. It's a 20 versus 20 game mode where you can queue solo or up to a group of 5. The goal of Outpost Rush is to be the first team to reach 1,000 points. Now, I don't know a lot about this. I've never played it. I've never tried it out. So what I know is just what I've read online. There's a plethora of ways to receive points, including gathering resources, capturing outposts, and defeating enemies. There will be summoning stones to summon creatures to fight with you, the ability to gain buffs by defeating PvE bosses that appear mid-match, and dominating objective points. A feature of Outpost Rush that I found to be pretty cool was that the bigger win one team has over their opponent, the bigger the reward they receive at the end, kind of incentivizing complete dominance in the battleground if possible. Seems like a pretty awesome PvP mode, and I'm really looking forward to trying it out once I hit level 60. If I hit level 60 during the beta, I should say. Lastly, we have Territory Fort bonuses. This isn't much of a PvP system in New World, but more of an incentive for open world PvP. I don't really have a lot of footage to show for this because it pretty much is just open world PvP, like I said before, but at a fort. The reason you want to own these forts is because there are benefits to owning them. The territories that can be controlled by a faction each have their own fort to fight over. You must be PvP flagged to enter any claimed fort. The faction that controls the fort does not have to be the faction that owns the territory at the time, which I thought was interesting. So like Syndicate can own the territory that the fort is in, but the fort can be controlled by Marauders, and then they own that world buff of that fort, of that territory. The territory forts will be a constant battle of control, only being disabled around the time of a war or invasion in that specific territory. The reason that you want your faction to control a territory fort is for the territory fort bonus. Each territory giving a different world buff, so to say, including but not limited to a 5% increase of rewards and experience from corrupted breaches, reducing trading taxes, housing taxes, base Azoth cost of fast travel, and many more quality of life bonuses. I think fighting over these territory forts is going to be really fun. It looks like it will feel like a mini battleground out in the open world, but kind of open world PvP at the same time. To finish off the video, I kind of just wanted to add something that I thought would be a really good implementation, and that is including some sort of small-scale competitive PvP system. And I think Arena is the only thing that really comes to my mind. I've talked to a few close friends of mine that I played the New World preview with last summer, and the same thing that we were all worried about come the launch of the game was not having enough endgame content. I know that the game isn't even out yet, and they have added a lot of new features throughout the last year, but adding something like Arena is basically providing a never-ending amount of endgame PvP content. The reason I say that is because if they do add something like this, with a competitive ladder and a rating system with MMR, the competition basically just never ends, and so that content never ends. People will be fighting to be the highest rated player in the world, the highest rated 2v2 team, 3v3 team, however they do it. If some team pushes past your rating, you're going to want to go back into the arena and get a higher rating than that team. It's a never-ending cycle that has provided years and years of content for games like World of Warcraft. I really do hope that they look into adding this into New World. I think it's just going to provide a lot of really good endgame content, and yeah, I don't know. I think the game could do a lot of really cool things with it. All right, guys, that will be the end of the video for me. Thank you all so much for watching and tuning in till the very end, if you are still here. I hope this has taught some of you guys about the PvP features of New World and maybe got you a bit more excited for the launch of the game. I do stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/BradyTV, and I will be streaming the entirety of the New World beta on July 20th at about 9:30 a.m. PST. If you guys are interested, go ahead and stop by, and I will see you guys there. Later.